All right, so we're back. It's week number 5 already. 4 weeks in, week number 5 has begun. So don't have a whole lot of time here. I've got a 2-year-old inside. I've got a 0-year-old inside. So want to knock out this video kind of quick, like maybe 6, 7, maybe 8 minutes. Let's kind of get right into it. So last week I started the week at 185.4. I actually ended the week at 184 even. So I was super happy. I dumped almost 1.5 pounds. And as you guys know that have been following me along, I started carb cycling last week. And it was really nice because it gave me more flexibility. I feel like when I carb cycle, it gives me a lot more options throughout the week. Here's a great example. So on Tuesday, I had my first low carb day and it went pretty well. Like I kind of hit my numbers. I was right where I wanted to be. I was somewhere right around 95 carbs or so, and it was pretty good. Well, on Wednesday, I had my first high carb day, and that meant that the calorie circus was in town. Sometimes on my high carb days, I go a little higher than I plan to go. And so a lot of times what I'll do is I'll put my high carb days in the middle of the week because I know how I am, and I've been doing this for a very long time. And so, I didn't go crazy. I didn't just lose control or anything like that. But, I probably had, going into the day, I wanted to hit about 170, 175 on my carbs. I was probably closer to 195, maybe 200. And so, to compensate for that, all I did was on Friday, I had a pretty low day to bring my weekly numbers in line. And I'll kind of talk about that little strategic tip that I had for you guys, another time. But ended the week at 184, which I'm pretty happy about. Carb cycling went pretty well. And so I'm not going to make too many changes this week. I'm going to keep things as is. I want to be preemptive. I want to be proactive, as I've talked about many times. But I also want to be smart. I want to be strategic about this because, like I keep telling you guys, you've got to be strategic. Well, here's one of the reasons why you need to be strategic. When you make a cut, or when you start doing more cardio, when you start to push the boundaries a little further, you have to understand that your body is going to catch up with you. Your body is going to chase after those lower calories or that higher output of activity. So it is going to eventually adjust to that level. So that simply means this. Once you make a change, there's no going back. Once you make a change within a cutting cycle, you can't go back from there. And so you have to be smart about when you make that change. And so I know that I can get by on a lot less than 133 carbs, which is what I ended up averaging last week, which is right where I wanted to be. I know I can do that. But I don't want to do that yet because I don't have to do that yet. Things are going along pretty well. I'm down 4.8 pounds in 4 weeks. It's a little slower than I wanted. I wanted to be closer to 6 pounds at this point. But that would have been under optimal conditions, right? Under just your best case scenario. This is more kind of real world, kind of real life, kind of like what actually happens type of a deal. And so at the end, I know that I've got a really good shot at averaging 1.25 pounds, maybe still 1.5 pounds if I get one of those 2-pound weeks kind of mixed in there. I still got a shot at that if I just keep playing my game, if I just keep doing what I know I can do. And I know these next 3 weeks, man, are really, really important because at 184, I've got a really legitimate shot at a good week this week, a good week next week, a good week the week after that, and then I'm going to see a 7 digit. I'm going to see a 7 handle on that second digit on my weight. And that is going to be so motivational. That is going to be so motivating because that would mean I'd have 8 weeks left until the first show, and 8 weeks to cut 10, 11, 12 pounds. That puts me somewhere around 167, 169 stepping on stage. That would be amazing for me personally and my own personal goals and what I've experienced in the past and where I've been on stage in previous competitions. So all that being said, got a few minutes to go here. Let me give you guys a tip that you guys can apply to your own training. And this is going to be another training tip to kind of piggyback off of the, kind of come off of the on the heels of last week. I know last week was also a training tip. So I have a number of injuries that I am battling. I have a number of injuries that I am having to deal with. I have my left heel, which hurts when I walk. I have the left side of my neck, which is a fairly recent thing. I have the right side of my neck, both in the back. That happened several years ago. I have my right shoulder. I have my right hamstring. I have all these different little things that I'm navigating every single day in the gym. And so one of the ways that I navigate these injuries is obviously you have to be smart about what you do and kind of know your body and know yourself and all that stuff. But I always have deload days or deload weeks in the gym. And I've got a deload week coming up this week. And so my tip for you guys is take some time from time to time and just back off the intensity, man. Just dial things down a little bit. Do fewer sets, do fewer reps. Keep the weights about the same so you can keep your body kind of used to and calibrated to heavier weights. But if you're used to, benching 200 pounds for a set of 8, and you go in and do a set of 200 for 4 or 5, that's going to be super easy. Like, you're going to be able to just kind of sleepwalk right into that set and have no problem whatsoever. And it gives your joints a rest, it gives your central nervous system a rest, it gives your mind a rest. I prefer deload days or weeks, however you want to structure them, over just taking time off from the gym, planned time off, which I've done a lot of in the past. I've taken weeks off, I've taken 2 weeks off. I don't like that, and here's the reason why. Number one, if you're an adult, then life happens. Life is going to dictate that you're going to have to take some time off from the gym anyway. So there's no reason to plan for it. It's going to happen on its own. You don't need to force it. But number two, when I plan time off from the gym, when I get back into the routine, man, I just feel really out of sorts. I feel really out of whack. I feel like it takes me, 2, 3, 4 weeks just to get my rhythm back, just to get recalibrated to what I'm even trying to accomplish. Now, maybe that's just me. I think that's a fairly common thing just from talking to some other people, but that may not necessarily apply to you specifically. But deloading, I think, is a more effective way to kind of give your body the rest that it needs, but also stay acclimated to what you're trying to do. So I'm excited because I have a deload week coming up this week, and so that's going to be fun. My sessions are going to be a little bit more fun. I'm going to start weaving in some new movements, some new exercises, and get ready for my second training block, which is a hypertrophy training block. So that's all I got for you guys today. Man, week 5 is upon us. We are 4 weeks in. I really hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I appreciate all of you guys that are following along, supporting me, kind of, checking me out throughout this journey. It really means so much to me. If you guys want to like this video, share this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, man, I would really, really appreciate that so much. I've got some fun things in store for you guys. I just posted my leg training session from a couple of weeks ago that I actually narrated after the fact. So go check that out. I think that's kind of fun, kind of a little bit different. And that's it, man. We're carb cycling our way down to greatness. See you guys next week.